Alright, hey guys. Hunt Stock Dogs here. We are going to talk about nutrition. Specifically, I'm making this for my puppy buyers. However, this is out there for anyone because I'm going to talk about puppies all the way to adult senior dogs. Obviously, I am not a vet. I am certified to pet nutrition. However, I am not by any means working in the field at the moment. So I highly recommend that you get with a pet nutritionalist or a vet nutritionalist and talk about the needs for your dog and have a blood panel done to make sure that you are giving them the best nutrition and that they're not lacking of anything. Also, testing for the MDR1 gene can be extremely helpful when looking at diet. Knowing your dog's health concerns can greatly improve with diet and can help your dog to last a lot longer. So I highly recommend doing a full blood panel, not from a vet, but from a genetic testing. We use PawPrint, which I will leave a link down in the show notes. I have heard a lot of people like Embark. I am not a huge fan, but I know that it's also not terrible, and it does test for a lot of health diseases, including MDR1. I'm going to talk about the supplements that we use, and we use a I can't even think of the word, I'm so sorry. Having a high nutrition food is extremely important and can make it so that you actually don't have to supplement at all. The reason that we choose to supplement is because I have talked with a nutritionalist and we have done full panels to know exactly what our dogs needs and what they're lacking in their diet. Today I'm going to be talking about the kibbles that we use, and I'm going to hardly even skim over raw feeding because I will do another video on raw versus barf diet versus kibble, and I have a lot to prepare for that first. And I feel that that's a great option for some, but not for everyone, obviously. When it comes to kibble, the other best option is the freeze-dried prepared kibble, which is absolutely amazing. I know that there is some brands out there that aren't so great, so make sure that you really know what you're reading and talk to your vet. For our puppies up to 1 year old, we keep them on a puppy food, which for my puppies, that means the Nutrisource large breed. Even though my dogs are medium sized, I have found because they do work more and are higher drive dogs that they need the higher protein of the large breed dog. The one that we use for our adults over 1 year old, sometimes even 2 if I feel like they're still massively growing or haven't hit the weight that I'm waiting for, then I switch them over to Victor High Performance. Again, this also goes off of your dog's breed, their size, their diet, their exercise plan, what their vet says, any medical conditions that they have. So you really need to make sure that you're paying attention to all that. And you guys are welcome to email me at huntstockdogs@gmail.com, and I'm happy to talk to you guys about it and suggest good foods for you guys and supplements for your dogs according to what you guys need, and we can make a food plan. I do recommend doing a first consultation with me, and that is free. Should we need to go into more detail or should you need any actual training, I do charge for that. But for a first consultation or just one question, go ahead and email me and I'm happy to answer it. Let's start out with our actual supplements that I give to about 90% of our dogs. That starts with, and I have actual branded stuff, but half the stuff I actually make with my own freeze dryer or I buy from someone who has antlers. I do not buy antlers from the store because I feel like they are not processed correctly or they're smoked and it actually can chip and hurt the baby. So especially with my younger puppies, I will use powdered form of antlers to get them the benefits that are inside of the antlers. And also if you have a dog who you want the ears to stand up, this helps a lot. So this is ground antler. This has like 3 different kinds of antler in it, which I'm not a huge fan of, which is why I choose to go to my friend who owns an elk farm, and she gets the elk sheds right then and there for me and ground them for me, and also the velvet, which is super good. So this is through Perfect Pets Chews. It's just called Perfect Pet Powder. And none of these have affiliate links. So I am happy to put links in the thing, but I will not benefit it, and I am not working for any of them. The other one that we love is Nature's Diet. I used their products for about 1.5 years, and I'm really loving them. They also have a freeze-dried dog food option. I have not tried it, but I have heard good things. So this is 100% salmon oil. When I do not have access to salmon, then this is what I put on there. If I have access to salmon, I will freeze a half salmon or a salmon head and give it to my dogs to chew on. Obviously, anytime that I can get something raw or real, I will. The other thing that we love is these, I think they're dehydrated. Yeah, gently dried. And these are carrots. And we will freeze dry carrots, we will dehydrate carrots, and we'll use these when we don't have the time. And you can serve them dry or wet, and it's got all the instructions on the back. But this helps with their digestive systems. And I will give this to all of my dogs. About 3 months and up. The other thing that we love is the Nature Diet. This is the bone broth. This one is their hip and joint. They have like 6 different kinds. I have noticed that the standard bone broth and this one have been the most helpful that I've seen a change in them. The skin and coat, I did not notice any difference, and my dogs didn't love the flavor. They absolutely love the flavor of this one. Next up is our sweet potato chews. These are gently dried. However, my dogs actually like them put into the oven and turned into chews versus this. And last but not least is the Mountain Blend. It's a turkey trail mix. It's got turkey jerky, cheese, and vegetables. So you can see what's in it. And we'll actually make our own little mix in our freeze dryer and put it into their food. And it'll have most of this. Like, it'll have green beans, it'll have carrots, it'll have sweet potatoes, it'll have blueberries, tons of other things. And I just make a mix and I mix it in with their food, whether that's kibble or raw fed. At the moment we're doing kibble and all of these supplements, and then I will switch back over to raw. And the reason that we switch back and forth is just to give them a variety, and also whenever I have a huge thing going on, like when we're moving or we're showing the puppy a lot, or we have puppies on the ground. Like right now I've got 2-week-old puppies. I don't have time to be upstairs prepping their food for anywhere from 3 to 6 hours for all 4 of my dogs. And also it's super hard on Bonnie when she has puppies and is lactating to be on raw, I've noticed. So she's on kibble, so when I have her on kibble, it's just easier to have all of them on kibble. I also, in my research, and a lot of people disagree, and some people totally agree with me, that dogs should not be on raw until they're at least 1 year old. And I have noticed that when I give her more raw meats than normal as chews, and actually put it into her food, that she does have a little bit more runny diarrhea and doesn't just seem to have the oomph that I would like to see. So I do keep my dogs on kibble until they're at least 1 year old, and then switch them over to the raw diet. Technically, I'm on the barf diet because I find that it has more of what the nutrition that I'm looking for. And then my little supplements, I'll actually freeze them and make little treats and put them inside of their food. And we will talk about making treats later as well. When it comes to anxious dogs, I have one dog who is extremely anxious when left alone. So on the days that I know I'm going to be gone, I will use Rescue Remedy. And it's for pets. It's got a little paw print on it. And then I use Just Relax. Again, this is completely up to you and what your dog needs and what your vet says. However, I have found that giving this to my anxious dog helps just take off that edge, and I notice a lot less of her scratching, of her shredding things while we're gone, of her escaping or barking all day long. I do have video cameras throughout my house that I can watch on my phone just to be able to check on my dogs while I'm gone, and that is something that I highly recommend as well. When it comes to nutrition, I try to do what's best for my dogs, but in the end, it comes down to exercise is the most important. They have done studies on dogs' health to see what is the leading cause in making them last over 20 years, and including the collie or a Kelpie who was, it was either an Australian Shepherd or a Kelpie who ended up being 30 years old. And he said, I feed him just junk. It was a really crappy dog food that I really dislike. But he said it came down to exercise that kept him going that long. And so, really exercise your pets. I'm not saying over exercise your pets, but making sure that you're having their mental stimulation and making sure that they're playing and that they have room to exercise. Dogs should not be kenneled all day long. If you're just going to kennel your dog all day long, please just get a stuffed animal. I mean that in the best way. But I'm so sick of people saying my dog's kenneled for 8 hours. I don't understand why they're so hyper, why they're anxious, why they're chewing things, why they're barking, why they're aggressive. There's your answer right there. You need to be able to have the time for your dog. And taking them for an hour walk and then going to work all day and then taking them for another hour walk is not a good life for a pet. So really make sure that you've got time for your dog and that you can put the money into the supplements that they need. And these aren't even all my supplements. This is what I use for all of my dogs. For my senior dog who has serious health concerns, we spend upwards of $500 a month in just her supplements and her vitamins and her prescriptions. So that's not even including vet checkups. That's not even including any x-rays or ultrasounds that she's getting almost monthly. That's not including the diapers that I have to spend on her for her high seizure months. That's not including her food. That's just her supplements. So, and then I have a dog who I only spend like $5 from all this. So really make sure that you have that money and time to put into your dogs. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and email me at huntstockdogs@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, find me on Facebook, or message us here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button, as it helps us to reach more people, and hopefully we are able to help everyone find the nutrition that they need for their dogs. Thank you and have a beautiful day.